If that Roc Nation brunch got you feeling like you could talk about my family, and I have a 3-year-old innocent child, have had my home swatted twice with drawn, they magically, no one seemed to find the person.
I just want to quickly give my love to Megan. I have so much respect for you, and I'm honored that you asked me to be a part of the song. And I just want to say, Houston, we love you. Thank you, Grammys. Thank you.
I want to see those fingers.
Not Beyonce checking Nicki for dissing her husband. Y'all, this Nicki Minaj versus Megan Thee Stallion situation is like when you argue with your mom and still hear her downstairs talking to herself after, because that's what Nicki has been doing for like a good week now. Ever since Megan touched a nerve with that Megan's Law bar on her track Hiss, Nicki has been going off, not just on Megan, but everyone associated with her. And she's now threatening to expose Roc Nation and Jay-Z for allegedly plotting her downfall. But word on the street is that Beyonce is low-key embarrassed she ever collaborated with Nicki. And after Nicki dissed Jay and Roc Nation, Beyonce reportedly reached out to Megan to offer her support. But what exactly is Nicki's problem with Jay-Z and Roc Nation? Did all this drama start because Nicki is mad she lost proximity to Jay and Beyonce? Let's break it down.
And all the Protect Black Women activists never see a reason to protect Onika. I said it's okay, but guess who's going to protect her own Onika? You are a disgusting serpent. Serpent, thou art loose!
So Nicki Minaj is still throwing shade at Megan Thee Stallion, and folks on social media are now starting to speculate that Nicki's problem is not actually with Meg, but with Roc Nation. Let's break it down. Roc Nation, Jay-Z's all-in-one entertainment and sports empire, happens to be the powerhouse behind Megan's career. And Nicki has been on this mission of dissing Megan ever since Megan dropped Hiss, a track aimed at all the haters without calling names. And there's this one line on Hiss that's got the whole town chattering. And folks out here speculating it's a direct call out to Nicki and her man Kenneth Petty. Megan dropped a reference to Megan's Law, the federal law in the US that makes law enforcement share the list of registered S offenders with the public. Well, Nicki's husband is on that list because back in 1995, he pleaded guilty to an attempted R word and did 4 years in prison. Now fast forward to July 2022, and Petty was with 3 years on probation and a whole year on house arrest because he failed to re-register after he moved from New York to California to be with Nicki.
He was then arrested and later released on a $20,000 bond. In New York, he is registered as a level 2 for his 1994 crime of attempted first-degree of a 16-year-old girl and was later convicted in 1995.
And it looks like Megan really hit a nerve with that Megan's Law bar because ever since she unleashed Hiss, Nicki has been on a mission to clap back. She's been all up in the IG and X going full-on obsessive mode, throwing shade at Megan, calling her a liar and a flop, and bringing up that Tory Lanez incident. You know, the usual stuff people use when they want to come for Megan. Nicki also shared this crazy long post on X, listing all her accomplishments and records, and honestly, it boggles the mind why an A-list celebrity like Nicki, who's already cemented her legacy as one of the greatest women rappers of all time, would do all this. Like, if you know you're the best, you don't need to shout from the rooftops, right? Just let your music speak for itself. Well, speaking of music, Nicki dropped her response to Hiss called Bigfoot. And while the song earned Nicki the biggest debut for a solo women rap song of 2024 on Spotify, the reactions have been, well, a mixed bag. A lot of folks called out Nicki for being a low-key misogynist with corny bars about Megan's height and body count. But then on the flip side, you have people saying Nicki is just using the situation with Megan to expose her real targets, Jay-Z and Roc Nation. One Nicki fan said, "I don't know if y'all are actually catching this, but what Nicki Minaj did with Bigfoot will forever change the industry. She exposed so much and it's really coming out, and I'm seated. These artists are constantly fighting towards an unfair machine that feeds the GPBS. It has to stop." And another fan took it a step further, saying, "Roc Nation want to keep playing with Nicki in the dark like they did Tory, but Nicki is forcing them to either stop or show their hands. wins. She won't let herself be bullied and thrown to the side like the others. That's how you end up or unconscious in a bathtub. Now, Nicki is not being subtle when it comes to calling out Roc Nation, and she's claiming that Jay-Z's company is pouring money into pushing Megan's song Hiss to outperform Bigfoot. She's even started naming names, and in one post on X, Nicki called out Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation, as well as her husband, Roc Nation sports chief Juan Perez. Nicki reposted Roc Nation's ad promoting Hiss and wrote, "Spending so much money, but she's still the lil broke independent artist. Desiree, you gotta let it go, baby. The world knows she's and can't rap. Stop effing trying to make fetch happen. I just put out a song with no promo, no video. It's already number 2. Nicki didn't stop there though. She later came for Desiree again in another post, threatening to expose her for allegedly doing her employees dirty. She wrote, "On the next song, I delve into all the people Desiree allegedly fired for unknown reasons, other things as well. So many people were blindsided and hurt by her, allegedly. She's willing to go broke to try to replace me? Fix it, Jesus." And in another post, Nicki claimed the only reason Megan is getting so bold with her disses is because she's got the Roc Nation machine behind her. B thinks she a bully because she got a Roc Nation brunch every year, Nicki wrote. Now, the last time Nicki attended the legendary pre-Grammy Roc Nation brunch was back in 2015 when she was still dating Meek Mill, and Meek later went on to team up with Jay-Z to push for prison reform. But Nicki and Meek called it quits in 2017, and it seems like Nicki hasn't stepped foot into a Roc Nation brunch since that breakup. Even though Nicki and Beyonce collaborated on the track Feeling Myself in 2015 and performed together at the Tidal X 1020 concert in the same year, there's this trail of breadcrumbs making folks think there's more to the story behind Nicki's current online meltdown. Allegedly, there's an unseen drama unfolding in the background, and Nicki's meltdown over that Megan's Law bar might just be the tip of the iceberg. See, it appears that Nicki's issue with Roc Nation didn't start when Megan dropped Hiss, because Nicki has been publicly throwing shade at Jay-Z for a minute now. Back in December, Elliott Wilson, a seasoned hip-hop journalist, stirred up some feelings with Nicki when it seemed like he was throwing shade at her for hopping on a live stream with Twitch star K Sanat to hype up her new album. Wilson has been outspoken before, airing his thoughts about how established platforms get overlooked in favor of these up-and-coming viral personalities, but he took it to the next level by dropping a video of Nicki twerking and slapping the caption "hip-hop journalism" on it. But Nicki wasn't having it, and she hit back, alleging that Elliott is on Jay-Z's payroll and that people who are close to Jay are for some reason always trying to tarnish her image.
You know how many tweets I've seen you post disrespecting me, Idiot Wilson? All of y'all, for some reason, when y'all are around certain people, y'all feel that y'all have this power. Why? When y'all have an affiliation to Jay-Z in some sort of way, y'all be thinking that y'all can disrespect and violate.
Now, what's interesting is that while Nicki has been directly calling out Jay-Z by name, she still hasn't mentioned Beyonce, at least not publicly. It's like she's dancing around the topic, not uttering the Queen Bee's name, even though Beyonce has been very vocal lately about how much she loves and supports Megan. In 2021, Megan and Beyonce won the Grammy for Best Rap Song for Savage Remix, and last year, Beyonce brought out Megan at a hometown concert in Houston during the Renaissance World Tour to perform their collab track. Megan also previously revealed in an interview that she's in a group chat with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and they apparently text all the time. Well, some folks are now speculating that Nicki is mad because she used to be in close proximity with the Carters, and that's no longer the case. Now, whether some other drama went down between Nicki and Jay-Z and Roc Nation behind the scenes, we don't know. But word on the street is that Beyonce confronted Nicki about coming for her husband, and ever since then, Nicki has been shut out from not just the Roc Nation brunch, but according to some sources, she's also blocked from getting a Grammy. And as always, when Nicki Minaj is the topic of conversation, fans are completely divided between those praising her for standing up against Roc Nation machine and the Carters, and others saying Nicki is just bitter and jealous of younger women rappers. One Nicki supporter said, "I do see how it's really Nicki versus the industry and not a particular female rapper. But if she's going against Roc Nation label and Jay-Z is the one pulling the strings, well, I hope Nicki is being very cautious about it, because Jay-Z is on the same boat as Diddy, if not worse. But another fan thinks this has nothing to do with Roc Nation or Jay-Z or anyone else, and it all comes down to Nicki's insecurities. You know what Nicki Minaj's problem is? She never matured into the queen that fans and the music industry was trying to bestow on her. Younger female rappers were watching. Now they're standing next to her and they don't respect her. She sees it. She's bitter, and it's her fault. But what's your take on this situation? Do you think there's some deeper issue between Nicki and Roc Nation, or is Nicki herself the main problem? Let me know in the comments, and then check out this next video.